Welcome to Showstopper Sports. I'm the Showstopper doing this quick rant. Guys, I have a few fun points I want to make about this year's NBA Finals, about the playoffs, about the way the NBA refs and does the finals, including last year's. Because, guys, I'm just watching this, and it's just crazy. By the way, I just got the tweet from Stephen Curry where he says lock in, hashtag Dub Nation. He hasn't done that since earlier in the playoffs. I've kind of noticed that. I don't know if that means he's just staying off social media. I don't know what that means for him or for whatever. But, by the way, I'm not a fan of either one of these teams. I can tell you one thing. I'm not a fan of LeBron James. I've always rooted against him. I never rooted for Michael Jordan. I always root for the underdogs. I rooted for Michael to win his first finals, but since then I usually root for another team. I rooted for the Jazz, I rooted for the Suns. I did root for Kobe. I was a Kobe fan, but more after Shaq was gone, as I felt like he was kind of an underdog at that point too. Even though he was awesome, his teams weren't always the best. So I definitely enjoyed rooting for Kobe, and because I felt like he gave you 100% every play of every game. All right, getting on to this year's finals, and let me give you some awesome points about this, guys. Remember last year, Ayesha Curry tweeted about the finals being rigged, and then she deleted the tweet. That's Stephen Curry's wife, if you don't know. I did actually a video on that last year when that happened. I even have a screenshot of that tweet as my thumbnail on that channel. I'm going to put the link in the description below if you want to go check out that video. You can also see that tweet again. It's a big deal. Here's my points I want to make on this. So get ready. Here comes some pictures. Go. All right, so for me, I'm watching these NBA Finals. Obviously, they've added a new star to this show. It's Kevin Durant, guy on the far right. What this makes me think of is, what does Hollywood do all the time? When they get something big, when they get something they like, they run it into the ground. Take, for instance, Pirates of the Caribbean, the 5th installment. The first one was great. As a matter of fact, all the movies are good. Lethal Weapon 4, by this point, that series had run out of gas, but they squeezed every ounce of it they could. And what did they do? They added more stars just to try to spice it up just a little bit. And one of the biggest movie squeezes of all time is the Hobbit trilogy. I love The Hobbit. I love Lord of the Rings. I love what Peter Jackson did with these movies. However, they went from 1 movie to 2 movies to 3 for a very small book. They added plot lines that were not in the book, all to get that squeeze. And instead of making $1 billion, they end up making $3 billion on the movie releases alone. That does not include DVD, Blu-ray, anything else that they did with those movies. And we all know the reason the Bills never won a Super Bowl was certainly because of the X-Files and the cigarette-smoking man. But on to bigger and better things. ABC, ESPN airs and broadcasts the NBA Finals every year. ABC, ESPN is owned by the biggest movie studio in the world, who wants to see a show with all their stars, including adding and taking away characters over the years. They like to put on a spectacle, and when they get something good, they milk it. Just like with The Hobbit, just like with Pirates of the Caribbean, they keep it moving and moving and moving. Yes, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it kind of sounds right, does it? I mean, money makes it all go, and you got to think even 1 or 2 extra games makes it all just a little bit more money for the league, for the advertisers, for the stadium, and the fans seem to enjoy it and keep watching it, so why not keep it going? Guys, that is what's going on. So that's kind of my opinion. That's what I think is happening. It all makes sense. Now you got to get into how do they all make it. Tell me this, how does Stephen Curry, play like garbage in that last game, basically, and nobody really says anything about it? I haven't heard anybody talking about it. He disappeared in that game. Now, if it was Kevin Durant, they might make a bigger deal, but all they did was talk about how good the Cavaliers played. The Cavaliers shot set records to win that game. And yeah, that's cool. Who can do that even 2 games in a row? If they come out and do that for 2 games in a row, and it goes to 3-2, then that's crazy. That is just crazy. And that's something you can't make happen. Now, when you get the Warriors, who are a rhythm team, out of their rhythm, then I can see things happen, things change. But I don't get what's going on with that, except for it sounds like, just like with Hollywood, just like with ESPN, they want to squeeze as much of it out of it as they can. And that's what my opinion on that is. If you think any different, if you have any other feelings on this, let me know. Because squeeze that dollar till the eagle hollers. That's the motto. Thanks for watching Showstopper Sports. Subscribe. Let me know what's going on. And ESPN, sign me. But I'm not politically correct, so bam!